Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 982 and today we're back with another brand new video. Today's video we are back in the mix like it's 2K6 with another preview slash prediction video. That's right, you thought you were getting away from them? Nah. After 4 days, we're back at it. Playing on a Friday. But as always, before we go any further on with today's video, as always a shout out to the channel legends slash channel sponsors themselves, OneFootball. I always forget what, it's one of those sites right there, but it doesn't matter ladies and gentlemen. If you want a free footballing app, the link for that is down there in the description below, and I'll give you a wee bit of football content when this isn't enough. But there is a game of football to preview slash predict, so let's just get into it then, shall we? And just like every single preview video, we are going to start off with the opposition preview. We're going to travel over to Easter Road to Hibs under the new management of Jack Ross, and there's a hell of a lot of buzz regarding this man. And if I'm honest with you, rightly so, Jack Ross is a pretty damn good manager, and I've said that in the past and I'm still saying that now. And if you look at what he's done already since he's walked in the door at Hibs and he's 7 games in charge, he's got 4 wins, 2 losses, one of them against Celtic just recently at Parkhead, and also 1 draw. Not too shabby for Jack Ross's Hibs. And when you look into those games and you look at the results, you've got some good ones like the 3-0 hammering of Aberdeen where they spanked him off the park. Like genuinely, they ripped him open with their pace and attack and play. Aberdeen did not have an answer the entire game. But in the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got the very disappointing game where they went to Ross County and go beat 2-1. And the draw that we mentioned earlier on in today's video should never ever have been a draw, ladies and gentlemen. They were utterly cruising in that game, and it must feel like 2 points lost rather than 1 point gained, because they were 2-0 up at home versus Kilmarnock and they utterly folded like a deck chair in the second half and just let Kilmarnock walk right back into the game. So I think it shows that yes, Jack Ross has had a positive impact on Hibs, but there's no window there. They're still working with the same bunch of players, so there is this ups and downs from this Hibs team, and it shows there's still a lot of work to be done. And speaking of the Hibs team, by the way, there's obviously no any changes personnel wise to break down and say, oh, this guy's came in and he's good, or this guy. It's still pretty much the exact same core players that we broke down in our last preview video. But what Jack Ross has done in his short time at Hibs is change the play style and change the formation to a much more attacking 4-1-2-1-2. Just go after them. Honestly, they're such an aggressive attacking team. They're no longer fanning about putting Kambiri out on the left or out on the right. They're putting him up top next to Doyce, who has 7 goals last month, by the way. And the two of them are just sitting on the 2 centre halves, causing havocs all day. And the way that they play with the 2 centre mids that are basically just wingers, that's the way that their formation works. They are bombing forward constantly with their incredible pace, and it's just creating mismatches in space, which Scott Allen inevitably finds with the ball at his feet. And when it all clicks and everything goes right for Hibs, that is the way it works, with Scott Allen on the ball picking passes. Now I know we like to make jokes and make fun of that pass that he done versus Rangers, but if we're being honest, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching Hibs play, Scott Allen is doing one of those passes nearly every single game. He's creating things out of none, and he's creating chance after chance after chance. So I think it's fair to say, so far under Jack Ross, this Hibs team is built to attack and go after teams with their pace and power. However, it needs to be said, with so many attacking players and so many flair players in your midfield and on your wings, it's leaving them very, very open in their midfield and defence, and that is how they're conceding the majority of their goals. Yep, in the 7 games that Jack Ross has been in charge of Hibs, they have conceded the 9 goals, and the majority of them are quick counter-attacks or break-in when a lot of their players are left forward. And I think that was perfectly highlighted, but in their most recent game versus Celtic at Parkhead, did they go defensive? Did they try and shut down? Did they try and play anti-football? Nah. They went for it. They tried to attack. They went after Celtic, and by God, did they leave so much space in the defence and midfield areas for Celtic just to stroll through and create chance after chance. Now I know Hibs created a couple of opportunities in the game of football, but I was very surprised in the way that they went ultra attacking. Now, is this going to be one of the cases where they've tried it Jack Ross's way a couple of days ago versus Celtic? It did not work at all. Are they going to try something different now that Rangers are coming to their ground? Are they still going to be as attacking as they were at Parkhead, or did they learn their lesson and they're going to shut up shop? That is the massive question going into this game of football. What Hibs team will we see? And I think that right there is the perfect place to end the Hibs preview. I've been very impressed with Jack Ross, and I've been very, very impressed with Scott Allen in the middle of the park as well. But it's all going to come down to, are they going to be as brave versus Rangers as they were versus Celtic? But as we just said the Rangers name, let's jump over and turn our attention to where it belongs then, shall we? And focus on the Glasgow Rangers. And right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, it needs to be said that the last time these two teams met was at Ibrox, and Rangers absolutely roasted them. I mean, they never even put gravy on it. It was nothing but sheer viciousness as Rangers went out and smashed them 6-1. However, as we just mentioned in the Hibs preview, there's been a couple of changes at the old Hibs, but it's still the same player, so I'll take another 6-1. End of preview. But all joking and that aside, Rangers obviously come into this game of football after a strong performance at Fir Park, where we utterly dominated a game which is normally a tough fixture, especially against the hammer throwers of Motherwell Football Club, and we came away with 3 points, the clean sheet. However, it did cost us Alfredo Morelos. And as you can imagine, this was a massive talking point into this week's official Rangers press conference, which you can find on the official Rangers YouTube channel if you want to see the entire thing. As always, we're just going to pick out a couple of little things and discuss the highlights, match of the day style. But back to Alfredo Morelos then. The man has been in incredible form and he's really led the line so far this season for Rangers, and Gerrard isn't going to sort of beat around the bush and try and say otherwise. They know that the player who is coming into this game has to step up and needs to fill that void that is left in this game of football by Alfredo Morelos. But Gerrard did go on to say that he wants to see the other players step up, not just the individual who's coming in to replace Alfredo Morelos in this game. He wants to see everyone step up and add more goals to their game to try and decrease that burden that we have on Alfredo Morelos, or on Jermaine Defoe, or on Herrera, whose loan deal just ended. I'm kidding, by the way. Of course he never mentioned Herrera. He doesn't even ken who he is. But he did speak about picking up the burden. He wants Ryan Kent to get more goals. He wants Aribo to get more goals. And he wants more goals for the midfield, which I think we all agree with. We would certainly love to see that. But I did like the way that he ended the sentence and ended the sort of discussion about Morelos, saying the players or the individuals that's coming into this game of football he believes in, and he believes that we'll be able to cope with Alfredo Morelos, but it's on the individuals to go out and prove that. And once again, I just love the way that Gerrard seems to issue. It's not even for us. I feel like these press conferences, there's always that line or two that's directly to the players, and that line right there was, go out and prove it. And the man that he's pretty much went ahead and challenged going into this game of football scored a hat-trick the last time he did play against Hibs, which was of course Jermaine Defoe. Now if you watch these videos quite regularly, you know I'm not worried about Alfredo Morelos missing this game of football. As fantastic he is, and as much as I absolutely love the guy, Jermaine Defoe has goals in his game, and he shows that every time he starts he pretty much scores. His goal per game ratio was frightening before we started throwing him into games with 5 minutes left and stuff like that. His stats suggest that he will get in the score sheet if he is selected. Next up, there was actually a pretty major storyline to come out from this week's press conference, and I think it's something you're going to be very, very interested in. It's about the pending exits from the football club. Now, if you've been paying attention over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of stories about this player, this player, this player, but it's pretty much narrowed down to at least 5-6 players leaving in January. At least 5 or 6 players, and the media brought that up and asked Steven Gerrard, and he did not rubbish this story at all. Nah. He actually embraced the story, saying he's not going to go into individuals and sort of break down who is leaving, but he expects the squad to be trimmed down. However, I do think it's important to mention, by the way, that Gerrard did sort of back these players up that's going to obviously be leaving the football club. They've not been training bad, they've not been crap behind the scenes. In fact, he went and said it's the exact opposite. They've been top professionals and they've been working their arse off. However, the players in front of them's form's been at such a high level, they cannot get near the 18, never mind the starting 11. And he went as far as to even mention Greg Docherty, who I think all Rangers fans have a wee bit of a soft spot for, given how hard he worked down at Shrewsbury, all the hype that was built up for the match of the day, pundits looking at this laddie. He built himself, he came back, he rejected the loan move at the end of the summer window. He wanted to fight for his place. We've all been waiting to see him, but it just isn't happening. Gerrard wanted to assure that it's no down to him, no working hard on offering that. He's busting his ass off, but it's just the players that's ahead of him. And that is why we're not seeing them. So we're looking at some of these players getting moved on in January. Whether it is loans or whether it's transfers, expect a lot of people to be leaving. And that comes from the gaffer himself. And that perfectly leads me to the question of the week that I want to ask you watching today's video. If it was up to you, who are these 5-6 players that you think it is time to move away from? Whether it is loans or whether it's transfers, let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. I'm genuinely curious on who you think needs to go. And besides basically being told that Bonabir Barisic is the set piece taker now at the Glasgow Rangers, that's it for the press conference. Now it's time to turn our attention over to the latest team news. Now obviously we've already mentioned that Alfredo Morelos will be missing for this game through suspension, but someone else who is confirmed to be missing, and I hate to say this, it's also Stephen frickin' Davis. He's not quite ready yet. However, Gerrard said as long as he comes through the next 2 training sessions, he should be available for Boxing Day I don't know what Rocky's doing back there. I'm trying. Next up, we had a little bit of information regarding Jordan Jones and where he is at. Unfortunately, he has been ill at the start of the week. It seems to be a very, very similar illness to what George Edmondson had last week. So that's kind of knocked him back a couple of days, and Gerrard confirmed that it's pretty much going to be a late decision on his end whether or not Jordan is a part of the 18. Fingers crossed he is. I'd just like to see him back in a Rangers strip. That's all I ask for. All that and Stephen Davis. And last but not least, we're not going to end unfortunately with a thumbs up story or a feel good story. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's the confirmation that Helander will be missing for at least 4 to 6 weeks with a unique foot injury that the club doctor's only seen a couple of times in the last 25 years. That's a pretty bad one, because at first it was initially thought it was just going to be a short term injury, but now it's stretching out. So Gerrard confirmed that he's definitely missing for at least 4 to 6 weeks, and then after that it's going to take him a bit of time to get back up to his fitness and work, so he's probably going to be missing for at least 2.5 months, and for there it's just going to be a precaution because of this foot injury, which is massive for the big man, and my heart goes out to him because we saw some great performances. Yes, there's some frustrations with certain couple of performances, but let's not forget when Helander was absolutely killing it, ladies and gentlemen. And I know I love Katic, I know you guys love Katic, but I'm not going to sit here and celebrate a Rangers player being hurt so another player can come in that we absolutely love and we want to see play. Instead though, what we'll do is we'll focus on Katic and say, right big man, you've got 2 months now to fight tooth and nail for your spot. This is the chance you were waiting for. Now it's ahead of you. And with that being said, that is the preview, that is the team news, and that is the Rangers press conference wrapped up in a neat little bow. Now though, it's time that we know a little bit more about the fixture for me and the try our hands at the old prediction on. I continue to be 1 goal off, so either go up or down and you'll get it right this week, but I'm feeling confident about this one. I see it in here and I see it in here. Rangers 2, Hibs 0. That is the scoreline I'm seeing. My goal scorers, of course, it's going to be Jermaine Defoe, and my second, of course, it's going to be Big Katic. It has to happen again. And now that me and thee have had their say on the game, let's jump over to Twitter then and hear from the people. Now, there's been 1,140 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 3% votes for Hibs, 5% votes for the draw, but the far away winner with 91% of the vote is a Rangers win. Does that add up to 100? I don't think it does, Twitter. But anyway, let's move on then and let's see what the fad to say. Faraz Akram writes in 1-0, Connor Goldson header. We like to see that, son. Keemstar writes in 2-0, Defoe and Ojo with the goals. Philip Hugh McGregor writes in 2-0 to Rangers, Defoe and Ryan Jack. What a staunch tweet that is. 4 Lads Had a Dream writes in 1-0 to Rangers. About time Connor Goldson scored. Big boy header. He's been charging them up with misses. Miss after miss. This is the one. He's like the Mighty Ducks guy. 1 out of every 5. It's 1 out of every 27 headers. It's coming, lads. Book it. Kyle Hilton writes in, no issue with Defoe coming in. He hit free against them at Ibrox. Would like to see Stewart played wide right. Drop either Arfield or Aribo. Rest of the team picks itself. Marcus Gray writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Kent to score 2 and Jack to score 1. I love these Jack comments. Linda Mackay writes in 3 points as a must CJ. Any win will do. Kai writes in 2-0 Jack and Kent. And the last 2 or 3 that we read out, the first one comes in from Andy Higgins and he writes in 2-0 with Katic and Kent. And Mark Tolan writes in 2-0 with Defoe and Mr. Ryan frickin' Jack. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself, you've even heard from Rocky sort of rambling about back there. I don't know what that word I tried to say is, but we're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in tomorrow's fan recap. Let's hope it's a happy one, and bye.